In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the settings that you can apply when you're creating a new document from scratch. So the first thing that we're going to need to do, hopefully it's obvious by now, you're going to have to open up Adobe Photoshop. And so while this is loading, there we go. We want to go File, New, and this is where my presets are for me to create a brand new Photoshop document from scratch. In the previous video, we were pasting documents in, we were opening up files that already existed, but now I want to take control because perhaps I'm being asked to make something at very specific size and dimensions and color mode. We need to know how to use this. So the first thing right up here is Untitled 1. That's your name for your document right now. If you know what this file is supposed to be, I strongly recommend that you name it first. This makes saving files a lot easier. So I'm going to call this Demonstration. And now I have presets. And my presets are numerous. I have US paper, international paper, photo, web, mobile and devices, film and video. Depending on what you're designing for, these things will be extremely helpful. If you're designing something, for instance, that's going to be for print, you're going to probably want to design it on a piece of paper that is the same size as a regular piece of printer paper that goes through your printer. So in this case, I'm going to choose US paper. And then US paper preset already sets my paper size to letter, which is 8.5 inches by 11 inches, or it could be legal, which is 8.5 by 14, or tabloid, which is 11 by 17, or 2 letters side by side. Here we have it, it's set to inches. The resolution is 300. Resolution, or dots per inch, is how many individual pixels fit into one single inch of space. The more you have, the better. Any picture that you take off the internet will only be 72 in the interest of making things small and easy to load. But if you're designing something, you definitely want to start at a minimum of 300. You have your color mode down here, and you have options: bitmap, grayscale, which is no color, RGB, which is the standard color mode if you're designing for something that is going to be shown on an electronic device. If I'm designing a document and it's going to be put onto a projector, or it's going to go onto a digital display, it's going to go onto a website, or I'm going to make it so that it's part of my app for an iPhone, you want to be designing an RGB color, because RGB, or red, green, blue, those are the three colors that make up visible light. And any digital device that you're using, whether it's a laptop, a projector, or the phone in your pocket, it operates on that same principle. The color that you're seeing is being projected through light through these pixels in the red, green, blue spectrum. So if you're designing for one of these things, it makes the most sense to use RGB. However, if you're designing for print, then you're going to want to use CMYK. CMYK is a different color system that simulates the way colors will look if you were going to be printing them onto paper. For now, the default color mode should be RGB because it's Photoshop and you're most likely going to be designing something that's going to be digital, so we're going to go with RGB. Now your background contents, that's what color the document's going to be when you first load it. So it could be white, it could be your background color, which is currently over here with your color picker. Remember, it's the box behind. That's your background color. It's also white, so this is currently redundant, but if you had specified colors before, it could be something like blue or pink or green, or it can be transparent. What I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to make a transparent document, so we're going to start with a completely empty file. Alright, so we're going to click OK, and I have a transparent layer. You can see your checkerboard. If I had gone back and done a new file, and I had set it to US paper, and I had said background white, you'll see I have a new document. It's up here at the top. I didn't name it, so it's called Untitled 1. And because it's solid white, it made it a background, which I would have to convert to a layer later.